So we're continuing the birthday month celebrations by talking about my favorite fantasy show that was canceled way too soon, Pushing Daisies. Basically, it was the show about this guy called Ned who could touch jet things and bring them back to life. He could only bring them back to life for a minute, or something of equivalent size or value would die. You know, person for person, animal for animal, bug for bug, and even fruit for fruit. If he touched a dead person again, they were dead for good. He learned this in the most tragic way possible when his mother died in front of him. He brought her back to life, but a minute later, his childhood sweetheart's father died instead. And that night, when his mother touched him again, she was dead for good. In present day, he owns a pie shop and he works with a private investigator who knows his secret.
Emerson Card was the sole keeper of the pie maker's secret. Mr. Card proposed a partnership. Murders are much easier to solve when you can ask the victim who killed them. The pie maker reluctantly agreed.
They go around waking the dead so they can learn how they died and claim the reward. Then one day, one of the dead people was his childhood sweetheart, Chuck.
Chuck, wait!
Who are you?
Do you remember the little boy who lived next door to you when your dad died?
Ned? Oh my God, hey, how are you?
Good.
He brought her back to life so that he could find out how she died. And then he couldn't bring himself to touch her again, so someone else died in her stead, and now he could never touch her again.
You were my first kiss.
You were my first kiss, too. You want to be my last kiss? First and last?
The pie maker's lips went as far as they would go. He couldn't will them to go any further. And as a consequence, the funeral director would go no further.
It was a rom-com / cozy murder mystery / philosophical show about death. It was so cute and quirky. It even had an omniscient narrator, and it didn't even feel out of place. It turned the will they or won't they trope on its head because they couldn't. They were so cute and tragic because they couldn't touch each other, and it caused all sorts of conflict between them.
What is that?
It's for, steering emergencies.
He lied.
That's what I thought.
She lied too.
I'm sorry.
Unable to catch Chuck when she fell, the pie maker was forced to step aside, allowing another man to catch her.
They literally had to kiss through plastic wrap.
I like the weather.
Storm brewing in the pie hole that evening. And
The show was before its time. Had it come out now on Netflix, it would be a hit. It was like Umbrella Academy meets Nobody Wants This. And the ironic part is it was reaching 11 million viewers weekly. Network shows would kill for those numbers just 2 years later. But because it was produced during the 20 million viewer heyday, it was seen as a flop. It was created by Bryan Fuller, who created so many other weird shows, including Dead Like Me, Wonder Falls, and Hannibal. It was executive produced and sometimes directed by Barry Sonnenfeld of Men in Black. They were the perfectly weird combination. Shy McBride was also on the show, and this is my favorite performance of his. His character was horrible and hilarious.
So, who's the funny girl stuck to Ned?
Childhood sweetheart.
Still sweet? His heart?
He digs her in a way he definitely doesn't dig you.
He wanted what he wanted, and he didn't care about anybody else's feelings as long as he got what he wanted. He is also responsible for my favorite quote in TV history.
Bitch, I was in proximity.
It was what he said after he learned that something else would die if Chuck didn't touch the dead person again, and he was nearby when Chuck hadn't touched Chuck again.
But who died instead?
It's a random proximity thing.
Bitch, I was in proximity.
I wasn't thinking.
Oh, and the show had Kristen Chenoweth and Ellen Greene as regulars. You know, from Wicked and Little Shop of Horrors, respectively. They even had them sing, and normally I hate singing on TV shows, but I loved it when Kristen and Ellen sang on the show.
Oh, there's nowhere to hide since you pushed my love aside, and not in my head.
The show was so cute and quirky, it fit. The show has some really great guest stars. Molly Shannon, Paul Rubens. The woman who played Lynn Pierce from Black Lightning was on the show, and she's English. I had no idea. Kristen Chenoweth played a waitress at the pie shop named Olive who had an unrequited love for Ned. So when Chuck breezes into their lives and Ned is gaga for her, Olive was not having it. But eventually, Olive and Chuck become friends despite their one-sided rivalry.
We took an oath. I was scared for what would happen if I broke it.
Sometimes you have to keep a secret, even if it means hurting someone.
Exactly. Damn it.
And I loved how it was handled on the show. Chuck knew Olive was in love with Ned, but she wasn't jealous and was even sensitive to her feelings. And Olive helped Chuck help her aunts get over Chuck's death. Her aunts being Swoosie Kurtz and Ellen Greene. And watching the aunts grieve and heal from their niece/surrogate daughter's death was sweet and also kind of healing in itself. This show has so many layers and levels, and I enjoyed it so much, but it only lasted 2 seasons. Like, I wanted to see them find a way for Ned to touch Chuck again. Like, was there a cure for what he had? Could he get rid of his power? Of course, he would have to test it out on something like fruit first, but it would have been worth it. It could have been the very last shot of the very last show. Chuck and Ned kissing for the first time without plastic wrap. But that was the tragic loss of Pushing Daisies. The Sweetest show they wouldn't let be great.
Thank you. If I could hug you right now, I know that I can't, but just know that I want to.
Me too.
Did you watch Pushing Daisies? Were you pissed when it was canceled? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoy my videos, please support my channel by subscribing, joining my membership, or donating through Ko-fi, Cash App, or Super Thanks. Or you can purchase merch related to my fantasy novel, or just buy my fantasy novel, The Fairy Princess. And let's continue the conversation in the Fairy Princess Facebook group. All links in the description. Thanks.